You've been going, and then you realize, why did I do all of that? And then you finally get there and you're like, I don't even want this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be chatting about journaling for clarity or open dream journaling. Now I do this every time at the end of the year or the beginning of the year to get clear on the direction that I want to go and make sure that the steps that I'm taking right now is going to impact my future and make sure that it's actually making progress towards where I want to go instead of doing all of these things that end up not making me get to the goal. The reason I do this is because I'm the type of person that likes to take action, get things done, cross things off my list, not for the sake of accomplishing the clear goal, but just for the sake of doing them. I don't know if it's because it gives me endorphins to get things done or if it's because I'm an Enneagram 3. No matter the reason, I just like to run before I think about the destination that I'm heading towards. So if you're like me, let's do this together. This is called the open dream journaling. So all you need to do is have a journal in front of you, or if you want to type it all out, that's totally fine. I actually do both depending on the mood or what is in front of me. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so first, what is open dream journaling? Now, I think people do this exercise and they call it many different things, and I did not invent this by any means. There are lots of resources out there that are very similar, but I feel like it's pretty clear, the name, what it means. It's basically when you picture your life 10 years from now and imagine what your dream life will look like in different sections or different areas of your life, and then you work backwards from there. The reason why it's called open dream journaling is because you're not judging yourself on your dreams. You're not like, oh gosh, this is impossible, or am I arrogant for wanting this, or am I being X, Y, and Z? This is not a time to be apologetic about what you want. It's actually about uncovering the deep desires of your heart and being okay with them and picturing them so that you can actually settle into what that would be like. And while there are some marker points in terms of time, it's really not meant to hit your goals at a certain time, like a New Year's resolution, where you want to hit those goals by the end of the year. It's really not to set a goal within a specific time, but rather the intention is to dream unapologetically and openly and kind of decipher backwards from there. With that said, it is still nice to have some structure, so I like to break it down into 3 main parts, which is 10-year, 5-year, and 3 years from now. Okay, so you can either grab a paper journal like this and grab a pen, or grab your laptop and open up Word doc, Google Doc, wherever you can write all of your thoughts. So for example, if it's January 1st, 2026, then 10 years from now, it will be January 1st, 2036, which is crazy to say. So you're gonna write the date at the very top, and then you're gonna write how old you are. So for example, you will write, today is January 1st, 2036, and I am 40 years old. However old you'll be in 10 years. Crazy to think about, right? You can also include the ages of your family members, like your spouse, your children, and write all of their ages down as well if you want to include them in this exercise, or if you want to keep it strictly to you, you can just keep it simple and do that as well. And this is where I will kind of section off different important things in my life and start to dream openly about what this could look like, whether it's my home, my career, my health or fitness, my family, my travel, whatever is important to you. I would put it in 5 to 6 buckets and then do my open dream journaling each section at a time. I have my laptop right over here so I can share what that could look like. So for me, I have home, the physical home, as in where do I live, what city do I live, what does my house look like. You can be as detailed or as open as you like. If there's a certain neighborhood that you want to move into, or even a certain state or country, or it can be like your house. Like, I really want to live on land, on a farm with X acres. That's not my dream, but if that's your dream, write it down. And then second for me is gonna be my family, like what kind of marriage I want to have. Do we have weekly or monthly date nights? Do we prioritize our relationship? And if so, what does that look like? The kind of relationships I want to have with my kids, the intentional things that I want to do with them. For example, a Sunday family dinner, things like that. The third, I wrote career/business, what I want my business to look like in 10 years. And in this area, I really like to have fun and dream as wildly as I can, like be on stage in front of thousands of people or go on a TV show or something like that. The fourth category is self. So just me. This is where I can put in my health and fitness goals. Like I am someone who eats healthy and organic and exercises. Whatever dreams you have for yourself, it doesn't have to be that. Or you can be like, I am someone who is kind, I am loyal, or I am working towards getting pregnant. Whatever this could look like for you, you can write it down in your self bucket. And then I have overall lifestyle, which can include travel, relationships, friendships, your faith, church, whatever your regular lifestyle looks like, you can put it in that category. And those are my 5 buckets, but you can customize it to whatever you want. If travel is super important to you and this is something that deserves its own bucket, then you can have a travel bucket or you can have a faith bucket. Whatever that looks like, you can customize it. So once you have your bucket set in place of the things that are important to you, I want you to spend some time to think about it. Think about each area of your life, each bucket at a time. Spend 5 to 10 plus minutes, however much you need. I'm sure some buckets will take longer and some buckets will be like super quick, and that's totally fine. So as you picture each area of your life, I want you to ask yourself some of these questions. What does this look like physically? So if it is your home, I have 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, and my master bathroom has a big white tub with claw feet. I don't know, whatever you want it to look like, write it down. What does it look like physically? Or maybe it's like, I have a 6-pack, I am fit, etc. You get the point. So what does this look like physically? Second is, how am I feeling? So when it comes to yourself, I am at peace with myself. I have accepted the choices that I have made. I love myself. I am kind to myself. I give myself grace. All of those things, you can write that down, or maybe you can do that with your marriage. I want my marriage to feel fun, full of adventure, romance, things like that. What does my day or schedule look like? I am unhurried, or I wake up early in the morning to have an hour to myself, or I have a flexible schedule that allows me to travel any time of the year as long as I plan for it. Again, this will look different based on what is important to you. And then other questions could be, what have I mastered or accomplished? Like, I'm an excellent cook. I have nailed down 10 Korean recipes. That is a personal goal of mine. Or I have lost 10 pounds, or I have hit 6 figures in my business. Again, the answers will vary. You're not judging yourself when you're answering these questions, and you're dreaming openly and excitedly. This should be fun to daydream as an adult. So after you've completed the 10-year exercise, which honestly could take a little bit of time because 10 years is so far from now, it may be hard to imagine. And if it's too far, then you can change that timeline up. You can make it 5 years instead of 10 years, right? So whatever that looks like. But the first part, I would guess, would take the longest potentially, but it should also be fun. It should not be stressful. None of this should be stressful. This should all just be a way for you to picture and dream openly. Okay, I feel like I will say that over and over again throughout the video, so if you take anything away, it's to dream openly. So if you did the 10-year exercise, then your step 2 will be your 5-year. So you have the same buckets that you visit, and you ask yourself the same questions and you write it down. I forgot to mention, you should be writing them down in the present tense. So you should say, it is now January 1st of 2031. I am 35 years old. And then go from there. I live in X house. It should always be in the present tense. Go through all of the same buckets you did in step 1, and it may take you a little bit faster since you kind of did the big dreaming in step 1. You're just figuring out like the stepping stone to get there. So now step 3, once you've completed the year 10 and year 5 exercise, we're gonna move on to year 3. You can switch that up. It can be 2 or 3, but I kind of like to half them. So if it's year 10, half of that is 5, half of that is 2.5, so 2 to 3 years. So let's say 3 years for this exercise. So same thing would be, today is January 1st, year whatever, I am blank years old. The reason why we don't start with year 3 is because it still feels a little close and it still feels like planning at this point. And we really want to focus on the dreaming part, because it's not open planning journaling, it's open dream journaling, right? So 3 years feels close, but now that we worked from 10, 5, 3, we have a better understanding of what this could look like. And since you've done the 5-year visualization, 3 years should feel really exciting. And this kind of helps you break it down and compartmentalize and also simplify at the same time. So your next 3 years don't feel as overwhelming. It feels more like baby steps broken down to get to your big 10-year goal. By the way, there is no rules when it comes to this. You don't have to do 10, 5, 3 years. You could do 5, 3, 1 year. Whatever you want it to look like is completely fine. And you could also keep going. At this point, I like to do 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, because I like to kind of get a good idea of where I'm going. So now that you visualize on 10, 5, 3 years, you probably want to take some action towards these goals. You can ask yourself the question, what would I regret not doing in the next 3 years? And write 2 to 3 things that you would regret not getting done. Like, man, the blog that I've been thinking about starting, or the YouTube channel that I have been wanting to start. I mean, that is my regret of not starting X amount of years from now. So I would write that down, not starting my YouTube channel. This can truly be anything from taking a first step towards something, completing something, traveling somewhere, or hitting a benchmark of some kind. And make sure you pick just 2 to 3 things so you're not overwhelming yourself. Not 30, not 10, really keep it under 5 if possible, so that it feels doable and tangible and exciting for you. So now that you have these 2 to 3 tangible goals, you can go after them. From the 2 to 3, choose one that really stands out to you, the one that feels the most exciting, or the one that you would really regret if you didn't do that one thing. Or if all of them feel equally important, then I would choose the one that is the easiest to accomplish. Whatever is easiest, just do it so that you can feel like, okay, I got a win, I can move forward and finish the other 1 to 2 goals that I have. And since we've spent all this time dreaming, now we have a clear first step towards that big 10-year goal. The really cool thing is that as you do this exercise, you'll get a bird's eye view of what this could look like, and you could even start to see chapters of those years. I did this exercise recently, and this is kind of what my years look like in chapters, if you will. For example, in 10 years, under all of the different buckets, it really felt like legacy building, something that will build a legacy that is beyond just me. And then moving to 5 years, I call that established and known, because I'm not hustling anymore. I have arrived at the place that I have worked towards. And then in 3 years, I wrote it as my creation year. I would be out of the younger years with my kid and going into creating some of the things that I have been wanting to do for years. So it's a really fun year. And then 2 years would be deep work. It's not anything that people are going to see from the outside. It's like the behind the scenes, deep work, doing the foundational things so that the creation part could come after it. And then my 1 year, which will be looking forward, the next 12 months is going to be my exploration year, which is just to have fun, experiment, create without strategic planning, which is basically what we're doing right now, right? So I am living it out for the next 12 months with you. So as you saw, I did 5, 3, 2, 1. So I have 2 extra steps from the 3 that I mentioned here, but you can keep it at 3 at first if it feels overwhelming, but I find it really helpful to do all 5 steps. It's so easy to go online and see what other people are doing, buying, accomplishing, and absorb it for ourselves. Like, oh, I want that, or I want to do that too, or I want to go there too. And then you kind of step back and you're like, wait a minute, I don't actually want to do that. I want to do this instead. And so this open dream journaling concept is to really get clear on where you want to go so that you are making sure that you're heading to the right place. Make sure to keep it light and keep it fun, and make sure to share this with your spouse or someone really close to you to keep you accountable, and just have fun dreaming together. I will leave some helpful resources down below. If you have any questions, then leave it in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe so that you can get more videos like this. Thank you so much for joining me, and have fun dreaming. Bye.